Peace, y'all. So this is part two of the act of deprivation. Deprivation. My goodness, my apologies. Um, I've been having to heal through this because, as I stated, the awareness of this thing is extremely painful. Because in order for you to truly deprive something, you got to go down to the root of it. You understand? And what we recognize is our roots are our family. It's our foundation. You understand what I'm saying? So if you think about deprivation as the 14-5, you recognize that it's a karmic energy, right? That means that there's a seed that's been planted, that's been deprived at its roots, that is literally altered and shifted the rate of when you think about like a five, right? You think about a thing that literally is basically coming down and going up at the same time. And the reason why it could be so confusing, because a lot of the times you could see a little bit of eight in it, right? And the reason is because there is this rate of experience that is going up within it, but it had to be in the four in order for it to get to the five. I have images to show what this looks like to make it more sense. But if you think about the growth of a tree, because this is how it was explained to me, when you get to the three, you don't really have no roots. There's germination, there's growth that is occurring, but there's no stability. You need the four to come in to act and be as that stability. So if you recognize that this is a 14-5, this is a karmic five, it means that at the intricate part, when my roots is supposed to basically come in and provide me with the strengthening, there's been an offense that has occurred at this space that altered the trajectory that would shift me to propel, right, into a rate that I needed to be at. When I was basically sitting with it, because I had to basically go back through my garden, Spirit made me completely aware. It's not really the clearing that we were really supposed to be paying attention to this last moon cycle, okay? It's the recognition that the old thing has died away, and that whether you do something about it or not, you need to allow yourself to be at a rate of understanding that you've chosen to be at this new space and continue to clear and move forward. And be at a rate of inviting in the divine to allow you to pursue, this like, hey, I'm finally ready, God. Okay. Because the clearing that is coming to basically help you in what is going to arrive you at what it is that you are, only after you've allowed yourself to let go of that which you aren't. And you can't be what it is that you've been conditioned in, especially if you've been deprived. And you'll see it. It'll be a lot of the times I hear men, mostly men, they'll see a beautiful woman and they'll say that you have like a rest and be face, right? And you have this no nonsense, you run a strict program over there, right? And a lot of the times it be because of the offense, right? And we can't operate in a space where we allow ourselves to genuinely be at where we desire to be at on a regular basis. We find the places that allow us to be at this comforted space, and we show up and we beam in those spaces. But a lot of the times, yeah, we might show up in a space where we, what do you want over here type of energy. But that's not us. And the reason why it's not us is because it really isn't. It's just that we've been conditioned to have to put ourselves in a predicament to where Spirit said, I'm not saying it. They saying, say it, Jamie. Say it, Jamie. My deprivation was caused, if you haven't paid attention to what I've been saying, my deprivation was caused by my family. You understand what I'm saying? And when you get to a rate to where you recognize me believing myself to be this broken-hearted girl due to lack of receiving love, due to not being poured back into like I had poured into other places, tired of being the fucking victim in situations because I didn't want to perceive myself as no survivor, based off of what it is. I recognized the choices and the decisions that I had made. Now, also was really privy of the fact that a lot of the places that I chose to love weren't really the places that a lot of people who got sense enough would go in willing to pour out so much. You understand? So being at this rate to where now, because I'm not allowing myself to sit down in something that's trying to oppress me, that's trying to basically shut me up, because my family want me to be quiet so bad. They want me to sit back and allow the image that's been painted of me by them, the conversations that's been had that I've been privy to without being present in the room, the groups that have cultivated and grouped together trying to decide for me what my future will be, and what I get to basically see for myself, altering and affecting things that could harm and would hinder my child and also affect me and cause, a lot of fucking shit that should never happen. You get what I'm saying? And it shouldn't have happened. It's just that a lot of the times you have individuals who aren't willing to take that individual journey through self. And they will alter and affect a structure, a body that's going to affect beyond themselves. If you recognize the reason why the chosen be the chosen is because they not here just to cause the difference in their life. They be the difference in millions of people's lives. Just because each time they reach one, they teaching one. You thinking about something that says an ecclesiastical office. I put this deficiency in you as a child, right? Altering how you perceive and see yourself, right? So then you have this bitter taste in your mouth based off of experiences, because the people that you should have been able to receive loving from, right? The people that you should have been able to actually receive nurturing from, you were put in a place of being deprived. They took away something that belonged to you. If we recognize anything, truth comes with love. And in order for me to be at a truthful, trusting space, I got to be at a space where I'm willing to recognize that I account for something. But if I'm always in this position to where I'm getting pushed out of a space that I felt like belonged to me, because a lot of the times when you're not in alignment, you perceive rejection as punishment. You don't perceive it as protection. You start to say things like, I don't care anyways. It don't matter to me. It does matter, boo. It matters to you so much. It's just your first matter. Your first matter wasn't properly structured, babe. It wasn't properly structured. That 1-4, if you got it on a divine rate, you understand. And you recognize the permission that you give to it. I got a seed. And in this seed, I receive from the Most High straight down. I have a divine rate to be at this space. I'm supposed to be a leader in the community. I'm supposed to show up and speak to these people. I'm supposed to actually help people at their root to recognize that they could be the pivotal change in their life, right? Versus it being something where I'm deficient because I have this idea, but then there wasn't any structure. There wasn't any foundation that was nurtured. So when I get to the 5, as soon as the wind blows, my flips over. Not even allowing me to be at a rate to where I could actually receive spirits calling us to, like I said, invite in help. You got to release the anxiety that you've been sitting in. I can't show up with a smile on my face and be beautiful in public because I recognize that my beauty could become offensive to people that I didn't even choose to offend just by showing up. My light doesn't have to ask for permission, because as my brother, the sun, don't ask to shine on me. I get to basically show up in a rate, especially in the dark places, and beam like until people listen to me. I get to be so bold about it. And because I'm going to be bold about it and I'm recognizing where my help comes from, regardless of what was occurring within me at a rate that should not have occurred, right? I'm going to allow clearing to come in. And when this clearing comes in, it becomes easy for me to let go. I start to trust that more will always arrive for me. I shift from mine to this is the Most High's. This is freedom because I released it, right? I get to be open. I get to allow my love to breathe to me my will. By releasing myself from attachments, I get to be surprised and be delighted in the plan that's been set for me, right? And I get to recognize the true offering that will take place when I realize that I'm not holding on to this unbearable cross, because I haven't forced myself to be the sum total of my experiences. I get to be in light of my lessons and move forward knowing that, like they said, love, divine source, knowing that I don't have to force it anymore.